This is Mindfulness with Richard. I'm Richard Clarke. Welcome. This series focuses on mindful meditation. And how has your practice been in the last week, Barley?
Good. I've kind of found a time when I've been doing it consistently, at least for the last week or so.
Oh, that's
And
great.
I've been rewatching the video with joy, equanimity, and impermanence.
Uh-huh.
And then the meditation at Plum Village. And I watch it, the same one, every day.
Very
Because
good.
equanimity, I really want to get there. I didn't know that word before. It's a new word, equanimity. Well, maybe
Okay.
impermanence is new
Uh-huh.
too. So it's all good.
Good. Very good. And that you are finding a regular time to do it
Yeah.
is great. That's been one of the things that's been an issue for you all along. So I'm really happy.
Yes.
I'm really happy to
Well,
hear that.
well, I hope I don't fail.
Well, you won't fail. You just may still have
Find a
work to
different
do.
one.
How
Yeah.
about you, Doug? I'm look forward to hearing your story. That seems like you're doing well overall.
Okay, well, you're probably not going to be, you'll,
Not this
you're going to
week.
regret looking forward to my story today, I think.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Not that I think, you're probably not one given to many regrets, but I have a roommate, a bug. Sorry. Yeah, I've gotten out of the groove and I haven't been able to get myself back into it. So this week I meditated once and it was memorable because I actually meditated once.
Okay.
And I've tried it a couple other times, but I just, I could not get my mind to,
Mhm. You
my
couldn't just
monkey
settle
mind to
down.
quit being a monkey.
Uh-huh. Hopping around from limb to
How,
limb.
right, and after a while, I just give up on it. And I think, well, not today.
Right. Right.
So, but I'll get it. You know, I'll get back into it.
Uh-huh. I'm sure you will. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you just can't settle your mind down. So it's a long-standing problem. And I'm sure that these teachers in India 2,000 years ago still heard about the same kind of problem. Master, I just can't settle my mind down. What should I do? So it's still the same today. How about you, Richard?
It's steady, Richard. It's steady.
That's great. And you, Carol?
Nothing much to report. We've been meditating most days, and so it's been good.
Good, good. And here is Daniel. Can you hear us? How's your practice been? I don't hear you yet. Oh, his sound, he's still not connected with sound, so he's had trouble with his internet connection, and that still may be the case. Anyway, let us then just proceed with our meditation. And excuse me, while I just do a couple of things to adjust the screen. Mindfulness is present moment awareness, paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, fully receive whatever is experienced, and then let it go. All right. Now, today I'll talk about a basic Buddhist teaching, the three marks, or the three universal characteristics. This is from what is said to be Buddha's actual teaching. Bhikshus, that means seekers, people who are practicing some kind of spiritual practice. He says, bhikshus, there persists that law, that stableness of the Dhamma, and the Dhamma is like the way, the law of nature, the way things are, that fixed course of the Dhamma. All conditioned phenomena are impermanent. All conditioned phenomena are suffering. And all phenomena are non-self, is what the Buddha said. And further, this liberating wisdom essentially involves the knowledge of these three characteristics. Again, from Buddha's words, all conditioned phenomena are impermanent. Seeing this with insight, one becomes detached with suffering. Or, excuse me, one becomes disenchanted with suffering. This is the path to purity. All conditioned phenomena are suffering. Seeing this with insight, one becomes disenchanted with suffering. This is the path to purity. All phenomena are non-self. Seeing this with insight, one becomes disenchanted with suffering. This is the path to purity. So Buddha said that the way things are, the law of nature, is that all the things sensed in the universe, the phenomena, everything is changing and unsatisfying and without an inherent constant sense of ego, of identity. Well, we know by now that everything we see and know about is constantly changing. Everything that lives will die. Even our planet, the sun, and the galaxy we inhabit, all will change and go away. And because we want lasting happiness, happiness that is always there, we'll never find that among all these changing things. This is the essential root of suffering. You're looking for happiness that lasts in things that keep changing. And in all of these changing things, none of them has any lasting, permanent sense of identity, not even us. If we think about our body that we identify with, our body keeps changing. So if there is anything that is permanent, it is not in the world of things. In the world of things, there is nothing that is permanent. This is the basis for the Buddhist idea of emptiness. And this idea of emptiness was the highest understanding in early Buddhism. Later Buddhism, like the Chan Buddhists in China and the Zen Buddhists in Japan and the Tibetan Buddhists, extended this view, saying even the emptiness is known. So it's not so empty after all. One way this was expressed is empty, but not void. Even in the emptiness implied by the three marks, there is something that exists. What is this? Who is this? Who is the knower of the emptiness? To kind of deal with this, these Buddhists talked about Buddha mind as a way to name this knower that is beyond all form. If you look within yourself, you'll see that there is something that is always there, something that is always the same. Even as the ever-changing world moves through your mind, there is something that is always the same. The deepest meditation notices this, that is always there. This is Buddha mind. So now a video from Thich Nhat Hanh, probably the most famous Buddhist of today. And these are also from this Buddhist sutra, and he will talk about the first 8 exercises of mindful breathing. This mindful breathing is, of course, what we do each time in these meditation sessions.
There is a text called Mindfulness of Breathing, and in which the Buddha proposed 16 exercises on mindful breathing. It's very practical, and everyone can do, not complicated. And you can already notice the effect of the practice after 1 or 2 hours. The first exercise is so simple. To be aware of your in-breath and out-breath. This is what we practiced this morning. Breathing in, I know this is an in-breath. To identify the in-breath as in-breath, and to identify the out-breath as an out-breath. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. This is so simple. And yet the effect can be great. Aware of in-breath and out-breath. As you breathe in, you pay attention to your in-breath only. Your in-breath becomes the only object of your mind. And if you are truly focused, mindful on your in-breath, you release everything else. You release the past, you release the future, your projects, your fear, your anger. Because the mind has only one object at a time. And the object of the mind now is the in-breath. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. So you focus your mind on your in-breath and you release everything else and you become free. There is regret concerning the past, sorrow concerning the past. There is a fear and uncertainty concerning the future. All of that you release in just 1 or 2 seconds because you are focusing all your mind into your in-breath. So breathing in mindfully set you free. You have freedom. And if you are to make a decision, it's better that you have enough freedom to make it. You are not under the influence of anger, fear, and your decision is much better than if you are not free. So just breathing in makes you free. And it is pleasant also. It's pleasant to breathe in. So the exercise is so simple, but the effect can be great. The second exercise is to follow your in-breath all the way through and to follow your out-breath all the way through. And you may enjoy these 2 exercises at any time and anywhere. Breathing in, I follow my in-breath from the beginning to the end. Suppose this marker represents my in-breath. It begins here. And this finger is my mind. I'm breathing in, I follow my in-breath all the way through. There is no interruption at all, not a millisecond of interruption. So during the time you breathe in mindfully, you cultivate concentration. You are not only mindful of your in-breath, but you concentrate on your in-breath. The energy of mindfulness carries within herself the energy of concentration. And it is also pleasant because to be mindful and to concentrate on your in-breath can be very pleasant. You don't have to suffer. In fact, you can feel wonderful just breathing in, especially when the air is fresh and if the nose is free. So the second exercise is to follow your in-breath and your out-breath all the way through. And we know that we can do these 2 exercises anytime we like. The third exercise is to be aware of your body. Breathing in, I'm aware of my body. You bring your mind home to your body. And your mind becomes an embodied mind. They will help you to be established in the here and the now. You are fully present, you are fully alive. And you can live that moment of your daily life more deeply if body and mind are together. The oneness of body and mind is what you realize with the third exercise. When you are when you spend 2 hours with your computer, you forget entirely that you have a body. You are not truly alive in that moment. You are truly alive only when the mind is with the body. You are fully in the here and the now, and you touch the wonders of life in you and around you. Many of our brothers and sisters in Bangladesh, they program a bell mindfulness in their computer. And every 15 minutes they hear the bell, they stop working, they go back and enjoy their in-breath and out-breath, smile and enjoy their body, and release the tension in the body. And that is what the Buddha recommended 2,600 years ago. That's the fourth exercise. Breathing in, I calm my body. I release the tension. In my body. When you come back to your body, you may notice that there is a lot of tension in your body. And then you may like to do something in order to help your body to have more peace, to suffer less. And with your out-breath, you allow the tension to be released. And that is the first 4 exercises of mindful breathing recommended by the Buddha, so that we can take good care of our body. And with the 5th exercise, we go to the realm of the feeling. The 5th exercise is to generate a feeling of joy, generating joy. A good practitioner knows how to generate a feeling of joy, because she knows that mindfulness allowed her to recognize all the happy conditions of happiness that are already available. We can remind ourselves and we can remind our beloved one that you are very lucky. We can be happy right here and right now. You don't have to go to run into the future to look for happiness. There is a teaching given by the Buddha. It is the teaching of living happily in the present moment. Life is available only in the present moment. And if you go back to the present moment, you will notice that there are so many conditions of happiness already available, and that is why joy and happiness can be born right away. The expression living happily in the present moment was found in a sutra. Five times. The Buddha was teaching Anattapinika, a businessman in the city of Shravasti. That day, Anattapinika, the businessman, came with many hundreds of businessmen to visit the Buddha. And the Buddha gave them the teaching. Gentlemen, he said, you can be happy right here and right now. You don't have to run to the future. You don't have to look for success in the future in order to be happy. I think the Buddha knew very well that businessmen, they think that they're too much about the future, their success. And that is why the expression living deeply, living happily in the present moment was used by the Buddha 5 times in the same sutra, the same scripture. Drista Dhamma Sukha Vihara. Vihara means to dwell, to live. Sukha means happily. And Drista Dhamma is the present moment. Hiện Pháp lạc trú. So a good practitioner does not look for happiness in the future. He knows how to go home to the present moment and recognize all the conditions of happiness that are available and make joy and happiness available right away. And she does that for herself and she does that for the other person. Creating happiness is an art, the art of happiness. So the 5th exercise is to generate joy, and the 6th is to generate happiness. And the 7th is to be aware of a painful feeling or emotion. Breathing in, I know there is a painful feeling, a painful emotion that is coming up in me. So the practitioner does not try to fight the pain, to cover up the pain inside, or to try to run away from the pain. In fact, because she is a practitioner, she knows how to generate energy of mindfulness. And with that energy, she recognizes the pain, and she embraces the pain tenderly. Hello, my little pain, I know you are there. I will take good care of you. Whether that is anger or fear or jealousy or despair. We have to be there for our pain. There's no fighting. There's no violence done to our suffering. Yesterday we spoke about a mother holding the crying baby. So our pain, our suffering is our baby. And the energy of mindfulness generated by our practice is the loving mother. And the mother has to recognize that the baby suffers, and she takes the baby up and holds the baby tenderly into her arms. And that is exactly what a good practitioner will do when a painful feeling arises. You have to be there for your painful feeling or emotion. You continue to breathe and to walk in such a way that the energy of mindfulness continue to be produced. And with that energy of mindfulness, you recognize the pain and you embrace the pain tenderly. In Buddhism, we speak of consciousness in terms of soul and mind. There is at least 2 layers of consciousness. And the lower layer is called store consciousness. Our fear, our anger, our despair are there in the bottom of our consciousness in form of seeds. There is a seed of anger here. And if the seed of anger accepts to sleep quietly down there, we are okay. We can laugh, we can have a good time. But if someone comes and say something, or does something, and touch off that seed of anger, it will come up as a source of energy. Down here, it is called a seed. Chủng tử. Bija. And when it comes up here, on the level of mind consciousness, it becomes a kind of energy called mental formation. And this is the mental formation called anger. So when the practitioner notices that anger is coming up, she right away breathe and invite the seed of mindfulness to come up as energy. Mindfulness is another seed that is here. And if we are a good practitioner, the seed of mindfulness in us has grown to become a very important seed. We need to touch lightly, and then there will be a lot of that energy coming up for us to use. And if we are not a practitioner, the seed of mindfulness is there, but very tiny. And if you practice mindful breathing, mindful walking every day, the seed continues to grow. And whenever you need that energy, you just touch, and you have a powerful source of energy to help you to deal with whatever happening up there. So the practitioner begins to breathe or to walk mindfully. And the second mental formation is manifest on this level. Another mental formation, and this one is mindfulness. So it is the energy of mindfulness that will take care of the energy of anger. There is no fighting. Mindfulness does at least 2 things. First of all, to recognize. A simple recognition of the pain. And that is the 7th exercise. Breathing in, I know anger is in me. Or despair is in me. Or jealousy is in me. Recognize simply, not fighting. And the second thing mindfulness will do is to embrace. And that is seen in the exercise, is to calm down the pain. Like a mother holding the baby. The mother does not know what is wrong with the baby. But the fact that she's holding the baby gently can help the baby suffer less right away. The same thing is true with the practitioner. She does not know what is the cause of that kind of anger or fear. But the fact that she is holding, recognizing and holding that energy of fear and anger can help her suffer less right away after 1 or 2 minutes. So this is the art of suffering. This is the art of happiness. How to generate a feeling of joy and happiness. How to take care of a painful feeling and emotion. How to calm it down, how to get a relief. And with the exercises that follow, you can go further and you can transform pain, sorrow, fear into something more positive, like making good use of the mud in order to grow lotus flowers. So a good practitioner is not afraid of pain. She does not try to run away from the pain. In fact, she tries to be with the pain. She knows how to handle a feeling of pain and emotion, a strong emotion. And she knows how to make good use of that mud in order to create understanding and compassion, which are factors of true happiness.
All right. Now feel your breath in and out. In and out. And breathing in, I am aware of my body. Breathing out, I am aware of my body. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I calm my body. Breathing in, I feel joy in this moment. Breathing out, I feel joy in this moment. Breathing in, I feel happiness in this moment. Breathing out, I feel happiness in this moment. Breathing in, I know the emotions and pain in me. Breathing out, I know the emotions and pain in me. Breathing in, I calm my emotions. Breathing out, I calm my emotions. Now we'll return to the simple awareness of the breath. Breathing in, I feel my breath. Breathing out, I feel my breath. All right. And now a short chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. All right. Comments, discussion.
I love Thich Nhat Hanh.
Oh, yes. He's the most famous Buddhist of our era, I think. And
Very instructive.
Yeah. I discovered that the Qigong I'm doing is also by someone from Plum Village.
uh-huh. Now with Thich Nhat Hanh, one of the things that I see, when I see him talking, one of the exercises is, I feel joy, I feel happiness. I feel like that is what I see when I see him, that he is someone who exemplifies what he's talking about.
Yes, I agree. You actually just looking at him make me feel good.
That's right.
Just
Yes.
his expressions, just his presence.
Yes. Yes.
Even the
Now,
way he
He's a
walks,
vegan too.
with every step he takes, he's so present.
yes. Yes. Now I thought
Hear
maybe
that? He
Carol,
was a vegan too.
I'm sorry, what was that?
He was a vegan too.
Ah,
Oh,
not
of
surprising.
course.
Not surprising. Now, I was wondering, Carol, could you tell them about the program that we're involved in?
You mean today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there's this, this is South Indian guru lady who came here at the request of one of her devotees who lives here. And we just had a short session with her. And she talked a little and chanted a lot. And it was really amazing to be surrounded by the chant and by the sounds of Om, and her I think her specialty is sound, and so she does a lot of things. I think we'll have a lot of chanting. She's going to be here for 2 more days. We'll be in session with her for all day tomorrow and all day Saturday. So it's really a neat thing to go back to what we were experiencing in India all those years ago. It's really cool.
Nice.
And though she's dealing in sound, I think of it as similar to what we're doing with mindfulness. It's some sensory thing to pay our attention to. And it's easy if you're following senses to get absorbed in them and just let go of everything else and be in the moment. And though for me, chanting and mantras and this kind of stuff is not a part of my practice, because I recognize it's just another way of doing what we're doing here. I'm happy to be with this lady and experience what she has to give. And still the chance to be, she was realized when she was like 10 years old and has spent her life ever since bringing what she's found to the people around her. And her name means basically little mother, because she showed this kind of motherly care and compassion for the people around her from the time she was a 10-year-old girl.
Wow.
So anyway, it's
Get
special.
to- Gotta get to Ahihik.
That's right. We're waiting on you, Richard.
That's right. She won't be here when you come, but again, it's a special treat. And being with one of these people who has this deep experience in ways is an extraordinary kind of special opportunity. And so
Hmm.
we're just grateful that we have it.
Wonderful. Hmm.
Indeed.
Anyway, so how did you find going through the exercises during our meditation that were given by Thich Nhat Hanh? So I thought it was a good chance for us just to go through and practice those briefly.
Yes, well, for me, it was very good because I have some hope now of getting back into it because today I was very much into it. Yes.
Very good.
Excellent.
Very good. And, you know, one of the things I appreciated about these exercises was going beyond the awareness and the calm into the joy and happiness in the moment and into accepting and cherishing these emotions within us and somehow finding ways to hold them and calm them instead of running away from them.
Yes, the mother holding the baby was a great example of that.
Oh, yes.
Exactly. I love that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So instead of avoiding the emotion, to somehow care for it and cherish it.
And we always have that little seed of suffering or anger.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it can get smaller, but it must just be suffering is just something that happens.
Human condition.
Uh-huh. As long as you're looking for happiness or satisfaction outside yourself, you're going to suffer. Now, the other thing that Buddha said that I think is vitally important is he first said was the the existence of this suffering, of the dukkha. And that's his first truth. And his second truth is there's a way past it. There's a way out of the suffering. And what I would suggest is, since suffering comes from anything and everything in the world of our senses and our mind, then the way out of it has to be at some other level. And I think this is important about the empty but not void. That points to this other level. There is something within us that is always there. And if you watch it, one of the things you notice is while it knows about your suffering, it's not suffering. And, you know, that has been the heart of the practice that Carol and I have been learning for the last 30 years. And for me, the results of this practice is I know that there is something that is always there that doesn't suffer. And kind of the more I know it, the happier I am. So it seems like a good deal. Anyway, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. And namaste. May your life be filled with joy and peace.
Namaste. Back at you.
And yours, Richard. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.